It's a splendid red engine! Here's James! No, not that one. This latest custom run for RBP Trains is a steam engine, but aside from its flashy paint scheme, this is also the latest Lionel Legacy A6 Atlantic. So we're going to check this out from boiler to buffers and see if this version stacks up to previous releases. And we're going to give this to my son for his birthday. Let's check it out. Welcome to Datafied, glad you're here, and no, I don't have a custom run for our channel yet, but both my son and I have been big fans of our friend Chris for quite a while. Maybe someday we'll have a strong enough following to warrant our own custom run, so hit that like, subscribe, let us know if you'd like to see a secondhand overland O-gauge train someday. Actually, would that even work? Since we mostly focus on secondhand stuff, would that be taboo to have a brand new engine? I don't know, would be cool, but also thank you all for the support. So this red thing, yes, let's get to its unique paint job in a minute, but what I'd like to focus on first are the things that make all of these Atlantics the same. Offered in Volume 1 of the 2025 Lionel catalog, these A6 Atlantics come as Santa Fe, Chesapeake and Ohio, Ann Arbor, Chicago and Alton, Burlington Route, and Erie. Listed in the catalog for $999, these are up there for price, but they are packed with your usual legacy features. And that, perhaps, is actually a bit of an Achilles heel to these. Aside from the colors and road names offered, this seems more like more of the same with the inflation-smacked price tag. In standard Lionel form, these have been released before, and released pretty recently. In the Volume 1 2022 catalog, you could get these engines for $100 less with all the same electronic features. Keep in mind, the new price that was in the 2025 catalog did not account for the impending tariffs that came later. So they're actually quite a bit more expensive still. Modern legacy control for use with the Base 1 or Base 2 or Base 3 is here. Bluetooth for control with the Lion Chief app, or even with a Lion Chief universal remote. The exterior design remains the same too. Each road name has their own specific details, like some have number boards for Santa Fe and Chessie, or different headlight placement like the Erie and Burlington. The rest of the legacy features are here too: directional lighting, bicolor classification lights, rear electrocoupler, and even an optional coupler to swap out the scale dummy so you can double head with these. The picture in the catalog was a little deceptive though, as the bell is shown at an angle, which could leave some to believe that this has a swinging bell feature. While this does have whistle steam, the bell is static. Given the size of the engine and seeing what Lionel did with the recently announced 080 switcher, it's not unreasonable to think they could have given the Atlantic that same treatment, and that would have really put this engine over the top, if you ask me, and helped differentiate it from the 2022 release. The A6 Atlantic type is a great little steam engine though. With lots of exterior details and tall drivers, you do get a lot here. And thanks to its modest size, it can run on a variety of curves as tight as 031. Because of that size, not only is it versatile around a variety of layout designs, but it's also versatile with what you can put behind it. Much like other smaller scale steam engines like the 280 Consolidation and 460 10-wheeler, this engine can look right at home pulling scale size or semi-scale size freight cars and passenger cars. Speaking of semi-scale, I should include the mention about the throwback design they featured in this catalog, the Scout. We have an original Lionel Scout engine from 1947, and Lionel reimagined that design in legacy form. Well, if you count removing 2 of the pilot wheels and giving it a different sound effect reimagined. Although I gotta say, I really like the sound I've heard from the air whistle. I got a review linked on screen to another review, so you can hear that if you'd like to see what I'm on about. Still, it's neat to see a modern take on a classic like the Scout. And that's my cue to finally talk about this red version we have here, the Trainworld Exclusive Custom Run for RBP Trains. Because this is a standard A6 Atlantic dressed up in its UP Heritage-inspired scheme for the MKT, all the features under the hood are the same. 5 whistles, of which we've all heard before, 5 pitches of bells, and those just change the pitches, that's the same on Lion Chief, and all the same generic dialogue from the crew and tower. I do wish Chris's version had the air whistle from the Scout, as I think it's a better fit for a steam engine representing his channel. A modern legacy engine with flashy colors, with vintage sound, that would have been the perfect tweak to make this custom run truly suit the channel it hails from. However, the aesthetics here are fantastic. If you're familiar with the previous two RBP locomotives, you would have noticed that this does look different. The paint has a matte finish to it, as opposed to the glossier finish seen on the diesels. And instead of the Katy Heritage stripes switching to black, the red is much more dominant throughout this design. The two-tone red on the tender continues onto the locomotive with two subtle yet effective areas. The first are sections going along the boiler. It really helps a detail that normally gets washed out in lighting to stand out. There's also red grab handles along the boiler in that same darker shade that wrap around the front of the smoke box. The darker graphite paint on the smoke box paired with the darker shade of red really works well here. I've not seen that work so well on other custom runs before. The other details are pretty standard for other custom runs Chris has done, most notably this logo inspired from the MKT logo that has been altered with RBP. I did think it was a little interesting to have the number on the engine on the dome and up front, but not under the cab. It just says MKT. I expected another set of numbers here, but it looks fine and it's kind of nice to change it up. There's also red on the trailing trucks, which is a nice pop of color for the wheels. This is the Secondhand Overland though, so let's talk about that. It can be harder to find Atlantics secondhand, especially with the legacy system. They've been released as far back as 2000 with TMCC, but they didn't get legacy treatment until 2017. Because the details haven't changed that drastically between the older TMCC offerings and the latest versions, the only thing you're really picking up are the improved speed control, sound options, and Bluetooth control. So if those sort of things matter to you, picking up a newer one might not be a bad idea given how difficult they can be to find. If they don't, the secondhand market is much more forgiving with TMCC offerings that are out there, but it doesn't make it impossible to find the legacy version here and there. In my case, I knew my little engineer would love the red version you see here, and it arrived just in time for his birthday. Take a look. Open it up. What is it?
Steam engine.
Not just any steam engine, what is it?
Pull it out the styrofoam.
Hey.
RBP.
Which also means the tender probably has what on it?
Katie.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Great. Can we run it on the
That's fine. Want to run it?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
You like that whistle, don't you? Oh boy. Here, let me move on. Whoa, look at all that smoke. What's up?
Can you do Elvin Gladys?
Of course.
Thanks.
We even had a ton of fun bringing it to our local train club to run at their modular layout, and it was fun watching him chase that engine around the edge of the layout. That about does it for the Atlantic. I've made plenty of reviews, and smaller modern legacy steam engines at this point all seem to offer the same thing over and over. So I'm glad we went with something more exciting like this custom run. That's not to say the others aren't good choices, but I've heard all these sounds before. This design has been around for a while. So when Chris and the team at Trainworld took a shot at the Atlantic, it was just what I needed to go for it. The whistle steam is awesome, the colors are great, and I get the feeling this is going to be a new favorite around the line here. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff that helps our channel grow. We're grateful for your support and hope you'll enjoy more of what we've got in the works. We'll see you on the next one.